Success Insight shares the stories of the people with passion and drive who make things happen in the world. Here's your host, Howard Fox.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Success Insight podcast. Our guest today is Andree Martin. And as you all know, when Andree Martin is a guest on the Success Insight podcast, it must be Mindset Monday. Now, Andree is your leadership mindset and golf performance coach. She is an LPGA Class A Life member, a nationally recognized top 50 golf teacher and expert, and a member of the Maine Golf Hall of Fame, recognizing golf's value as a business tool in today's competitive marketplace. Andree works with individuals, groups, corporate or organizational clients to create educational and team-building programs that enhance the professional success of aspiring executives. Andree, welcome back to the Success Insight podcast and Mindset Monday.
Thank you, Howard. Always good to be back with you. I love our Mindset Mondays and looking forward to giving everybody another little boost for the week here.
Fantastic. And I think any week is always good for a boost in some shape or fashion. So what's in store for us today?
Indeed. Today's topic is 7 P's you need to achieve peak performance.
Peak performance. There's a lot in there.
Absolutely. In fact, we could add 7, 8, 9. It could be 10 if we include the title.
Yeah.
P's, peak performance.
Hey, we could build the airplane as we fly it here.
We're going to peak that performance yet. All right. Everybody ready?
Yeah, let's give it to them.
Here are the 7 P's. You've got perspective, patience, purpose, persevere, presence, persistence, and poise. Let's go. Let's dig in.
Perfect.
First one is perspective. Don't take yourself too personally. I was just thinking about the tours in today's market. And then I was thinking about the yesteryears and the Chichi Rodriguez, the Lee Trevinos of the world, Big Mama and the LPGA Tour. They all had such presence and they loved to have fun out there, right?
They had personality.
They got personality. I mean, DeChambeau's kind of boosting the energy on tour right now on the guys' side, but you got to put things in perspective. It's all about that perspective. In fact, I read an article recently in Parade magazine on Eddie Murphy saying the very same thing. You can't take yourself too personally and don't take yourself lightly.
I think even in the business world, that would be very helpful. I think some business leaders, managers, they take themselves too seriously and they tie themselves in a knot and everybody else feels it all the way down through the organization.
Yep. I actually was talking to a couple guys at the golf course this week about that very thing, saying, we just got to learn how to have more fun, just like we do on the golf course. And golf does lend that, but it's also easy to get too serious too, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's just all perspective. And then with that, it takes an attitude of gratitude. And then you want to be the best example. I think back to this little book I read as a kid, and I just loved this little book. It was called The Little Engine That Could.
I remember that.
Focus on the positive, right? It might look impossible, but what if it were possible and you really could achieve it? And so if you've shifted your perspective on that, then you can go for it. And you're lining yourself up for that peak performance. That leads us to number 2, which is patience. My dad would always say, patience, c'est une vertu de plus de monde. Like, what the heck is that? But he would throw it at me lightly and in fun as I would get serious in playing golf, or as I would get serious. I got to ride to school with him on the last 2 years I was in high school, and he'd always throw that out there, but he was always bubbly and making light of it, right? But it also helps you with your pace, with trusting, with pacing some more. And even during the swing, it's so easy to, what we say, jump it. And in business, you jump the gun, right? It's all about pacing and knowing when to pull the trigger. Even during the delivery, do you need to hurry? You know that as a speaker and conductor of so many seminars and workshops, you've got to know the audience, you pace the audience, and work how you can be most effective with them.
Sure. Got to get to know them.
And that just takes us into tempo. Rush tempo does not perform. It's focusing on your own personal tempo. And I have that conversation a lot with my students because if you follow your own personal tempo, you actually can build more club head speed than trying to do somebody else's. And the reason for that is you're owning your own tempo and pace so that you can drive with that momentum that you need and truly own your swing. Another analogy I think about is the gas pedal, right? A good smooth ride comes with a steady pace on that gas pedal. Yeah, we can go fast, which is, again, club head speed. And a lot of companies are lining up to regain on what was lost in COVID. And then those that are going great guns and want to keep soaring, sure. But you can't jam on that gas pedal to get it to go fast and really fly. You just pace it and accelerate. And it is a smooth acceleration.
Very good.
The next one is purpose. So thanks to purposeful practice, peak performance happens. That was a tongue twister there.
I like that. I like that.
And it's not just the score, the numbers. It's making the swing, trusting and knowing, being on purpose, and the score will happen.
You know, you've had the conversation with us before on purpose, where when we go out to the golf course, we need to have an idea of what we want to achieve out there on the course today.
Absolutely. And I always come back to this statement because it's just imprinted in my brain. Jack Nicklaus, but Tiger Woods, Phil, all these guys, DJ on tour, they've all said, I never hit a shot in practice that I didn't intend to hit in a championship tournament. And so that is practicing with a purpose. But not only that, having targets. Maintaining that purpose is knowing that you can, and also knowing that a relaxed focus keeps you in the flow and in the zone. And that's all a part of the purpose. Because when you're on purpose and you're trusting, you just maintain yourself in the zone. And you can persevere, which is number 4. So in persevering, never give up, folks.
Right.
You have your vision. You've set your SMARTS goals. You know how to overcome the fear and all these topics we've had so far. You got to persevere, folks. Know your vision. Stay to your vision. No excuses. Stay in the fight. It ain't over till the fat lady sings. We've heard those sayings, right?
Yeah, and you have to trust yourself. You have to trust yourself and your abilities.
Exactly. And allowing and using the pressure to elevate your performance.
Mm-hmm.
When you do all these perspective, patience, purpose, persevere, you have presence in the moment. Presence is peak performance. The past is past. The future isn't here yet. Be present and hit one shot at a time.
It dawns on me that even in presence, other people see that as well in you out on the course and even in business.
In business, in fact, I think of a lot of the bosses I've had over the years. The ones I've remembered and learned from are those who were fully present. The others were just on to their next thing and they were saying hello, but they weren't really saying hello. The ones that really got in there and shook your hand and really wanted and cared about how you were doing and how you were building for what your role was within the company made you want to perform even better for them. That's something to really take note as a leader.
That philosophy is ingrained in some of the top leadership models. I mean, I think of the leadership challenge, model the way, inspire a shared vision. So how you model yourself, and that is presence right there.
Yeah.
People will follow you if they have to believe the cause and the work is just.
Yes.
But they will, if they feel that way, then they will follow you.
Yep. It all trickles down. It's a trickle down effect. So how are you going to go for the gold? You're not going to go the other direction. You're just going to follow and keep striving. And so with that, you need persistence, which is number 6. With a solid, prepared, rehearsed swing, including the mental rehearsal, you can maintain that persistence with the presence and know and believe that setbacks are only temporary. Setbacks are temporary. They're not permanent. I wish somebody had told me that long ago. I learned that later in my career. And it's like, geez, right? and you knock yourself down, well, that doesn't do you any good. You're just beating yourself up. What's done is done. Next, right? And that's why a lot of times we'll break down components of the whole round so that once one's done, you can move it out of the way a lot more easily. And that's when we redirect and keep going.
Mm-hmm.
That's another part of the persistence process.
Did I ever tell you that I used to sail on little sailboats out in Lake Michigan? I don't know if I ever shared that.
Oh my God, no.
But I have to share with you that the name of our sailboat, it was a Rhodes 19, and the sail number was 1871, but our boat name was Persistence.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I love it.
I mean, we couldn't win a leg if our lives depended on it, which I love pleasure sailing, but the racing, that's a whole other conversation, but I love the name of the boat, Persistence.
That's fantastic. And I can relate to that too, because believe it or not, when I worked for Titleist, I used to on the weekend for fun, when I wasn't playing golf, I'd race J24s.
Oh God,
out of Newport Harbor. I had a ball.
I'll bet.
Oh, so fun. But that's, again, you get off course, you come back on. And that leads us in nicely to number 7, which is poise. You get off track, you got to come back on. So you got to keep a maintained level of effort, focus, determination on all shots, no matter how important, because they're all adding up and therefore they all matter. And so with that calm composure, that calms the emotions, so you can maintain composure versus reacting under pressure.
This is very much a system.
Yes, it really is.
An engine sets of gears, and just every one of them has a purpose and they work together. And when the system is running effectively, great things happen out on the course or in business.
Exactly. So what's interesting is I was just thinking about the cog in the wheel, right? You get a cog and it just jams the whole system.
Right.
So this keeps the oil and the lube and everything flowing. And so with that, the calmness allows you to keep your self-talk positive. And then when you catch yourself, you can step back and breathe. And then that breathing, like I often think of Buddha, right? We all breathe. And that's why meditation has become so key these days in all performance levels. Even Rory's talking about it these days. But it just get the breathing and calm down so you can access your intuition and your gut. And it keeps that winner's mindset solid. And then you can certainly go for the gold.
Fantastic. Well, I don't want to say impressed, because that's not good. You and I have been working together for so long, 30 some episodes, but I really love how you've put these 7 P's together, because this is a program. I mean, it is a system to teach people, and at each step you elaborated on it and put some shape around it so that people can say, okay, now I get it. This is what I need to do. And whether it's on the golf course or we can talk about in business. So I love it. And thank you for introducing our listeners to the 7 P's you need to achieve peak performance.
My pleasure as always.
Fantastic. So Andree, if our listeners would like to learn more about you and your work, where are the best places for them to go?
For work and programs, any mindset opportunity, you can reach me at andreegolf.com. That's Andree with 2 E's. Facebook, YouTube. I'm on LinkedIn as well, and Instagram.
Fantastic. And folks, when we kind of close down the rest of the show, we're going to mention one of our special partners, and that is the site Spotify, where you can download and listen to any one of our podcasts on successinsightpodcast.com. But this is brand new, and I just was sharing this with Andree today. We have a playlist. And if you would like to listen to the entire library of our Mindset Monday episodes with Andree, that's the place to go and get it, and just give us a shout. We'll happily share a link to the Mindset Monday episodes with Andree Martin on the Spotify playlist. So that was a pretty special share today, and looking forward to seeing where we take that as well.
Very excited about it.
Fantastic. All right, folks. I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. Mindset Monday, 7 P's you need to achieve peak performance. As always, do go out to Andree's website at andreegolf.com and also her social sites to learn more about her work, her programs. And of course, on our pages, we're going to have the backlinks to all of the sites as well. We do hope you enjoyed today's episode of Mindset Monday. Let us know what you think. You can find us on successinsightpodcast.com, on LinkedIn and our Facebook pages, Success Insight Podcast, as well as the major podcast platforms. Of course, Spotify, where you will be able to find the Mindset Monday playlist and the episodes with Andree. And we're also on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Pandora, iHeartRadio, and you can also find us on YouTube. And I'm pretty sure I've missed one, and I just cannot remember what it is. But, hey, right now, go out to Spotify. I think you're going to enjoy having access to the playlist. Right now, I think there's 33 episodes out there, and I think we've got another 4 or 6 in the queue waiting to get produced. So it's going to be a pretty big playlist. So not bad. So folks, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, go out there, have a phenomenal day, and we will see you on the next episode of the Success Insight Podcast. Take care now.
Success Insight is a production of Fox Coaching and First Story Strategies. Find us online, successinsightpodcast.com.